the Big Apple, today New York City is expected to lift its private sector vaccine mandate to allow exemption for athletes and entertainers in the workplace, which means Nets star Kyrie Irving will be able to start playing home games starting this Sunday against the Hornets.
Okay.
Which, like, this whole thing in general has been, he was like sitting courtside. But
it didn't quite make sense.
But wasn't allowed to play.
Even for like a while there, for like, in terms of the baseball teams, for like the Yankees and Mets, like any of their players unvaccinated would not be able to play home games, yet anyone on the visiting team who was unvaccinated would be able to play.
It was super
and it's an outdoor sport. And it's at the same time kind of a double standard with like what's happening in like New York City.
But just even in New York, like the fact that like Kyrie was in the building, sitting courtside without a mask on, but wasn't allowed to play in the game. That was when it just. I think KD was talking about it like a couple weeks ago. He was like, he was calling out the mayor. He was like, he's got to figure it out. I don't know what's going on.
He kind of does. And now, like, you got to ask yourself, what about the cops, firefighters, healthcare workers decide not to get vaccinated? And a lot of people out there who like lost their jobs, they don't have to suffer the same fate as like Kyrie.
Yeah.
So,
Nick, like, what did you think about it? I mean, it was kind of. To me, it's like regardless of your stance on vaccines, regardless of how you feel about any of that, just the visual of Kyrie courtside watching his team play and not being allowed to play was just outrageous.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was, I mean, it's one of those situations where you saw a lot of reactions to both sides, kind of on the extremes yesterday. You know, there's a lot of, wow, I can't believe that, you know, New York City is caving seemingly to the Yankees and the Mets more so than Kyrie Irving and the Nets. I think that was kind of the bigger push is, hey, the Yankees don't want to be embarrassed when half their roster can't be trotted out there on opening day. So I think the push from the MLB is really what got this across the line. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, regardless of where you stand on the vaccine debate, it was objectively ridiculous that Kyrie Irving could be in the building. He could be in 28 other buildings around the NBA and play in those games, but not at his home court. So, you know, even if you're still anti-Kyrie, even if you think, you know, this whole thing has been an unnecessary sideshow, which I count myself among those people, you have to at least admit that it was completely unfair the way things have broke down the last couple months.